Hello everybody and welcome to a game that's relatively new on Steam. I believe it's been out on Epic for a little while, but it's relatively new on Steam. I know we've played a lot of Souls-likes lately, and this is another one. I think this is one of the better ones, personally. I have, as you can see, a pretty good amount of time on it already on my existing save, but we're doing a fresh one. So we're going to play through Mortal Shell. I plan to do a whole playthrough of this, similar vein to my playthrough of the first Dark Souls. Yeah, so let's get into it. Beyond the grip of the familiar, a threshold demands to be crossed. The mortal shells yearn for... I wasn't ready. So this right here is our character. So this first episode is primarily just going to be going through the tutorial stuff. Very much similar to the first Dark Souls. This is our dude. No character creator. We're just like this strange humanoid amalgamation. So... do the tutorial stuff. The hardening functions like your shell or your shield, just that there's a cooldown time. You can see it down in the corner there. Yes. I can swing. I can fight. Alright. We have an item here. Open the inventory. Alright. I don't like that it makes you use that item right away. Like, come on, man. So, this is a tutorial boss fight that you're not necessarily supposed to win. But you can win. It's not unreasonable to think that you can. But it doesn't really matter either way. I'm gonna be real with you, this is gonna be kind of my strategy throughout the whole game, is to like keep my distance and admittedly kind of fight like a bitch. I'm gonna be completely honest with you about that. I'm curious because if you beat him, do I get to keep all my health? Because normally going through the game when you don't have a shell, you have very little actual health. But as you can see, this shell has a lot of stamina. Ooh, oh. Oh, Hattern. So a DLC dropped with this game, right? And the DLC that dropped with the game allows you to get Hattern as a shell, which is pretty cool. He's a pretty good shell. Good stats overall. Not the shell I like the most, but he looks cool. So that's a strong selling point. So, I mean, like, hey. Alright, we're gonna get a little more aggressive. One thing though that the game does have going for it is if you're using a shell, that shell can like die, and then you can get back into the shell once per shell life. So we're getting just slightly too aggressive, and that's causing damage for no reason. Hattern, what? Hattern, what even was that swing? You whipped that so hard. Uh-oh. Rock behind me. So not looking bad so far. Not looking bad so far. You can generally kind of feel out the fight and see a lot of the time you can squeeze in some extra hits here and there, you know. You just gotta really like get used to how the fight you're fighting moves. Okay, yeah, no. Good on that one. Good on that, fam. Wouldn't that be some shit though if like you do get more health for beating Hattern overall, but like the amount of health that you get is ultimately just kind of like however much you had left when you win the fight. So me getting sloppy for no reason is gonna make the game harder because I'm not gonna use any shells if I can help it. We're almost done. We're almost done. One way or the other. This is gonna go one of two ways, but we're getting very close. They kind of the achievements list kind of treats this like beating the Asylum Demon with the broken sword in Dark Souls 1. It's not. It's not like that at all. This is so much easier than that. Because in that fight, you don't have a way to actually block any attacks. Boom. Boom! Bitch! Get wrecked! Get fucking owned, my dude. Whew. Yeah, every boss fight's probably going to be a long one. The boss fights took me a long time every time I did them in my own playthrough. Especially the last boss. Last boss is a very, very, very long fight. That's going to be a long fight for us here, too. So, moment of truth. Do we have more health than we did, than I did last time I played without a shell? Valgrim, a tower hums, where a muted dweller ruminates his fate. Wake up! Wake up, bitch! Nah, we straight up don't really have health. Okay. I'm still gonna attempt. I'm gonna attempt. I know where most of the shells are, so in the event that shit gets too difficult, I'll just go and grab a shell. But I would like to do this without a shell because I think that would be pretty cool and unique for this playthrough. I don't know how many Let's Players have even really spent a lot of time on this game, and of those that have, I don't know how many have chosen the no shell life. Hashtag no shell gang. This might be a very long playthrough, or a very heavily edited playthrough. I don't really like to cut too much out, you know, but if it's just repeatedly the same exact shit over and over and over again, I'm not exactly opposed to it either. So our first order of business, we finished the tutorial, so now to finish off the episode, what we're going to do is we're basically going to get to our safe house. That's going to act as our Firelink shrine and our base of operations throughout our playthrough. And like Firelink Shrine, more in Dark Souls 3 than Dark Souls 1, similar to the Dark Souls 3 Firelink Shrine, we will be spending a lot of time going back there. Look at, would you look at that? 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 Wow. Would you look at that? Yeah, so here is our first shell. It's your everyman. And we're going to walk away from it. We don't need that shit where we're going. I guess playing without a shell is actively choosing hard mode. Alright, glimpse of utility. Any other goodies over here? What do we got here? Nice. A fucking loot. Sense Instinct. Yeah, that right there would be our home base. Ugh. See, there's a lot of things that I think that this game borrows from Dark Souls, but a lot of things also that I think are done much better. Or not, so, maybe not much better, but very differently from Dark Souls. See, boom, there it is. It's right there. Dead ahead. And so that's where we're gonna go. It's funny, when I first played this, I chose every path except for straight ahead and had a really fucking bad time. Alright. And here's some chests, but they're locked. We'll see how to unlock them in a while. I'm gonna be gathering up mushrooms and stuff, but truth be told, with this much max health, there's no real reason to. Because those well-kept mushrooms heal you. You hear that? You hear that? Let's take a gander real quick. Bunch of bodies, and there he is. That right there, that would be a big stinky. Them bear traps might be a fucking death sentence. I have no bearing of how little health I have versus how much damage things do. But anyhow, here's our firekeeper, so to speak. over here, you can sense the instinct of all of the shells in the main game, all 4 of them. That sensing the instinct of the shells, this is a cool feature. It kind of shows you where the dude died and where you can get the shell from. So you see that body there. That is your shell. You can go and pick it up right there. Now that said, picking up a shell straight up, does the thing. And then here you've got weapons. And just the same, you can sense the instinct of these weapons. And then you can see our boy Hattern carrying them in some direction. And whatever direction you see him carrying them, it shows landmarks leading to where you can fight Hattern using that weapon in order to unlock it yourself. Now right here, we'll go ahead and remove this seal. Look at my eye sockets, bro. Sick eye sockets, bro.
That's better. Thank you. It's been so long since anyone raised a hand toward me in kindness. You seem different, untouched by false truths. Unfortunately, I have little to offer you, save for that tarnished seal in your hands. A small gift, but I expect you will find it useful. Would you grant me another favor? Deep within the temples of the devout, you'll find the sacred glands of the revered. Bring the glands back to me, so I can extract the true nectar, just enough to heal me. Perhaps you too can use it to free yourself from this wretched land, before you end up like me.
Alright. We now have a mission. And our way of parrying. The Tattered Vestment allows you to call this weapon, so you can't actively change weapons, because whatever weapons you unlock hang out on this wall. So you need to find the item, the tarnished seal of that weapon. And then, like, if you come down over here, talking about shells, you come down over here, that's actually not where that shell is. Never mind. We'll discover the shell I like, that I used for my whole playthrough previous.
You're
See you
an
later.
adorned foundling, as naked as a newborn,
Yes.
and just as fragile in a sense.
Yes.
Solitary, same as I,
Yes.
as are the revered, no matter their following.
Yes.
Unlike the devout, unlike any living thing,
Yes.
when you find a mortal shell, shepherd them to me. Together we will find glimpses of what makes them human.
Interesting. I've never spoken with her outside of a shell. But that's going to be it for this episode. So, that's episode 1. We kind of got our bearings. We kind of got things started. We got to move it. And, yeah. I don't know exactly what that foundling menu is about. But, if there's a way to up that shit, up those points, then that means that being without a shell can actually be the strongest way to play, but with probably the hardest start. With that said, I'll see you all in the next one. The next one we've got, well, quite frankly, we're jumping straight into another objective. So, that said, thank you all for sticking around and joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode. Farewell.